Hello, all of you beautiful faced humans. Your girl, Laffy Roos, is back with a new face, a new poop bun, and a new topic to talk about on today's Feelin Fine Friday. So let's do it. So I thought that it would be interesting to discuss something that I feel like a lot of people are struggling with right now, including myself. And that's kind of why I wanted to talk about it, because I've been struggling so much with it, where I thought it might be cathartic, I guess. I really am starting to just treat this like a video diary. You may not know it. You may not look at me and think that's somebody that very clearly struggles with their weight, but I do and I have. So I just thought it would be a good time to talk about it. We're still, I don't want to say in quarantine, but we're still not, going out. We're still not living normal lives. I think people are still struggling with that. And so I wanted to talk about my struggles with that and how I've been dealing with it. But I do want to give a warning. If talking about topics like weight, body image, bad or good eating habits, bad or good working out habits, if that kind of stuff is upsetting to you or bothers you, feel free to just not watch today's or this week's Feelin Fine Friday, because I'm not going to say anything groundbreaking in this. So, if that kind of stuff is upsetting to you, feel free to put your mental health over anything that I'm going to say. But also, I'm not a professional in any area of any of this stuff. I am not a dietitian. I am not a nutritionist. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not an online trainer. I am not a fitness coach. So please don't take anything that I say seriously as though I'm an expert. I mean, you can take it seriously, but don't take it as though I'm an expert. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm just an idiot who does stuff and then talks about it. So, keep that in mind. I am an idiot. I'm a self-proclaimed idiot. So just maybe seek out a professional's advice before you listen to anything that this dum-dum says. Just want to make that very, very clear. Let me start with my personal struggles with it. I really did start trying to lose weight probably about 3 years ago, maybe a little more now, because it would be about 3 years ago now, because it was pretty much right before I met my current boyfriend, and we will have been together 3 years in May. 3 years ago, I had a lot going on in my life, and not to get, into it, because I just don't want to get into it. There was just a lot of stuff going on. And I got to a point where I felt like my health and my weight was something I could control, and that it would only benefit me to do things that would make me feel better, both physically and make me more confident. Something I'll probably hit home quite a few times in this video is that I don't want anybody thinking that when I speak in terms of absolutes for myself, that it means absolute for you. Because that's not true. What works for me is not going to work for everybody. It may not even work for a lot of people. I just want to make that very, very clear, because I don't want anybody taking away that, me being like, I do Zumba, it works great for me, being like, I'm going to do Zumba, and then, hurting themselves, or going overboard or anything like that, because that's not good. We don't want that. It's fine if you're sitting at home eating your chips and your pizza and your cookies and saying, I don't really care what anybody thinks of me and the weight I've gained during this pandemic. Girl, live your best life. That sounds great. And if that's what you want to do, do it. And if you want to work out a ton, work out a ton. I think you should be able to do that if that's what you want to do. But I know for a lot of people that it can be a struggle right now. And that's part of my struggle, is that I have found such an immense waning in my motivation. I set that goal for myself of I am going to do this on my lunch break. I am going to do this on my 15-minute break. I am going to do this when I log off for the day. And then I just don't do it. Any of it. Right? I make deals with myself, or I talk myself out of it. And so workouts for me have been a real struggle because the motivation is just not there when it needs to be. One thing that I have found helps is just even a little caffeine boost in the morning has been super helpful. I don't necessarily do pre-workout or anything, but I will generally drink some type of caffeine, whether it be coffee, whether it be an energy drink. I know the bangs are going to slowly kill me, but they're delicious and there's 0 carbs and 0 sugar. What else am I supposed to do? But also, it's just the matter of not giving yourself any excuses. Any excuses. Because I will try to bargain with myself till the cows come home. And with that, for me, for some reason, comes just a lot of a complete lack of self-discipline with what I eat then. I will eat snack foods instead of real meals all day. And it's what are you doing? You physically tell yourself as you're grabbing the bag of chips for the 5th time that day, what are you doing? So then it just doesn't make you feel good, both physically and mentally and physically. It doesn't make you feel good. I'm also a bored eater, which is a problem when you're stuck at home all day. It's straight up an issue. So yeah, so that's been my struggle. I have found a lot of really good motivating information on YouTube, some of it from people who are legitimate dietitians, nutritionists, personal trainers, fitness coaches, or just people who themselves have been through a, dare I say, weight loss journey. I hate that term, but there are people out there who have done it, stuck to it, and made it work for them, and that's awesome. If you would like to discuss your personal struggles with eating, exercising, and the current situation that we got going on here, let me know down in the comments below. If you're comfortable talking about it, if not, don't worry about it. This is a touchy subject, and I know that there might be people out there who don't feel comfortable with this being a topic. But I feel like it should be. I feel like it should be normalized for us to talk about all of our struggles, physical, mental, emotional, about all of the aspects of our lives. Last kind of thing that I wanted to touch on in this video, which once again might be somewhat of a touchy subject, but I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm just talking about myself, me, and my observations. I can only speak from my perspective, and so that's what I'm gonna do. There are 2 big things with body image that I've really had to try and understand over the years. Basically, my entire adult life, I've had to basically try and come to terms with these, right? These 2 things. I probably think I look a lot worse than I actually do. A. And B, as long as my boyfriend likes it, I try really hard not to care. Why does anybody else have to worry about what I look like? Right? As long as I'm happy and he's happy, then I need to try and understand that if I feel good, then what I am doing is working. We are so quick to only point out our flaws, never point out the things that are good about ourselves. And we are so quick to make those physical attributes out to be this big thing that it may not even be to most people, right? You may think, I look at myself in the mirror and I think the first thing anybody would notice when they saw me are my hips. The first thing anybody, because it is one place where I know you can't spot reduce fat, but my hips seem to be the one place that just never loses any fat, right? And that's probably not at all the first thing that people would see. If you looked at my entire body, would that be the first thing you would see? No. You'd say, she looks insane, her bun is ridiculous, her hair is really bright red, she's crazy. That's probably the first thing that people say about me. They're probably not paying any attention to my hips. but it's something that I'm insecure about. So it's something that I assume other people notice. But I wanted to get my thoughts out about it because I know that with us being in quarantine, weight, exercise, eating healthy, body image, like all of that stuff is being affected more than I think some people think it is. And I'm going to end it on this note. I'm going to end the entire video on this note. If you don't struggle with any of these things, do you, queen. Do you, or king, or prince, or princess, whatever you want to be called is fine with me. But if you have been struggling, but you have been finding like really solid ways to cope, whether that be emotionally, mentally, physically, then just keep doing that. If something is working for you, don't try to fix it. But like I said, I just know that this is something that people are struggling with. And if there's anything that you can take away from this, even just that somebody else out there is struggling too, and they have some small positive affirmations that you can use, right? You know, then cool. But that's all I wanted to talk about on this Feelin Fine Friday, where we talk about all different sorts of topics, some that are uncomfortable, some that are super comfortable, but getting it off of our chest, talking it out, and having some wine leaves us feeling fine. I will see you all and your beautiful faces next time when I upload again. Bye.